The UK is just continuing and continuing to decline. And it's crazy how much it has, not only over the last just over a year since Starmer has been in Parliament as our Prime Minister, but just over the last few months. But before we continue, a massive shout out to all of you who've liked, shared, subscribed and are viewing this video, and a big shout out to all of our channel members. Thank you for all your support. If you want to continue to support, then click the join button or head over to combatreadyhq.co.uk, check out our merch and our coffee blends. But getting back into it, some of you may know, may not know that it has become apparent and alleged that 9 generals, so 4-star equivalent, for those across the world watching this video, wrote a letter to Starmer with their concerns over the military, with how our soldiers are treated, with how our veterans are treated, and the UK's national security. They're not happy with the policies that we've currently got in place. And I did a video saying, is there possibly a military coup coming round the corner? And the response from everyone was absolutely crazy. That video's over roughly 190,000 views, over 13,000 likes, with over 7,000 comments, pretty much all agreeing with it and wanting it. I did a video a few months back, maybe further, about possibly military Britain not being put on the streets of the UK, and there was so many people against it. But now it's actually what the people want. The Labour Party and the Prime Minister are hated so much, they want them overthrown by the military. So military coup then, it's when the armed forces seize control of the government. You're going to see armoured vehicles, tanks rolling down the streets. You're going to see soldiers put on the ground, on our streets, patrolling the streets with the police, if there are any police remaining. We'll cover a more in-detailed video on how a military coup would look like in the UK if it was to ever happen. So make sure you are subscribed for that with notifications turned on. But the comments were just absolutely crazy with, I'll just get it up for you here, with just everyone just agreeing. Absolutely crazy. I was feeling so happy at the beginning of this video, but now you said it's very unlikely. Go for it. I believe a lot of military and vets, as well as the public, would support you, and we'll cover vets in a minute about, you know, what could be happening with vets in the future. I pray this happens. I'll be standing behind you, lads. I'm so pleased to hear this before it's beyond return. This would be great. Been asking this for months. Please do it. We're all behind you. Amazing. You're using this video. Yeah. Blows out of the water. Thank you for that comment. I'll be right behind you. This next veteran. Yes, do it. And the comments just keep going and going and going. There's just so many of them. Is it really what the people want? Has Starmer's time come to an end? Please do comment. Please, once again on the previous video, comment below what your thoughts are on this. But first of all, we'll start with how veterans are being treated. You know, going to court after they've been to war, being put on trial. You know, it's affecting them mentally. Then we've got obviously national security. Not just in the UK as well. We're seeing this in Europe. We're seeing it in Australia. We're seeing it in America. Knife crime, terrorist acts are just on an all-time high. They're just constantly increasing and increasing. So would, you know, and once again, we do not condone violence on this, by the way. So, you know, but would the military seizing the government, you know, swiftly and removing the Labour Party, would that be a good idea? You're going to have a lot of people that are going to say yes. And then you're going to have a lot of people that are obviously going to be against it. We do have people that are against the military. But would they provide better security for the country? Would you feel safer in your communities and on your streets if you had a big military presence? And obviously this is a big if. And obviously the issue you've got there massively in the UK is the size of our armed forces. You would need regulars called upon, obviously at first. It would all go ahead quietly. Once again, we'll cover this in a future video. You're going to need reserves being called upon. And then you're going to need possibly veterans, because the scale of it would be huge, having to seize Parliament, secure major cities, infrastructure, ports, airports. Like I said, we're covering that in a future video. But the question is, would you feel safer if there was a massive military presence on the streets? Would you feel safer, like national security level, if the military were in power? I would like to know your thoughts on this in the comments section. As we know, it's been alleged that generals have raised their concerns, but it's not just the generals, it's the people. So many people are raising their concerns for the safety of their children, their families, their friends, their colleagues, their grandparents. People just don't feel as safe. Or from the gist of what I'm getting, looking online, and from what I'm seeing that's going on around the UK, and reading people's comments, so please always do comments, send me an email if you want to. People do not feel safe anymore. People are scared to get on trains, they're scared to get on the buses, scared to go on the tube, scared to just walk around at night. Constantly hearing of possible terrorist attacks that are being stopped, obviously by security services, and then we know about all the other ones that have just happened over the last few years. You've got the car rammings that are constant in, France and Germany are majorly hit by stuff like this. We live in a crazy, crazy world. Never did I think that a military coup in the UK could be possible and could be wanted by the people so much. But just the way the country's being run at the minute, do we need someone at the top? Well, I know we do need this, but I've spoken about it previously. Someone at the top that is disciplined, courageous, they've got the integrity and the balls to basically say and do what they're going to do. It's all good saying it, but can you put it into action? Can you actually go ahead with it? We are going to stop illegal migration and then actually put what is necessary to do it. We're going to make the streets safer. We're going to put more police. We're going to put soldiers on the streets. We're going to have them patrolling to make the safe and make the people feel safer. You don't want someone who's basically, which most politicians are, all talk. They say the right things. That's why I always say when it comes to the election day, it's basically voting for the best liar. Because it's all about, they can say the right things, but can they actually go ahead with it? As in the military, you can't lie. You've got to go ahead with it. And if you don't, you get caught out. So no one does. It's, this is the plan. We're going to go ahead with it. And we'll just continue on that path. And then the good thing about the military is it teaches you to be proactive and reactive. So no plan survives first contact. So when something does get in your way, military personnel, officers, soldiers are great at thinking outside the box because they get put into situations, high pressure situations, where the plan hasn't gone to plan because, you've got possibly rounds firing at you, IEDs going off or anything. And you've now got to think outside the box of what to happen. So having a country run for a short amount of time by the military, could it, get us moving in the right direction? Like I said before, this is highly unlikely. We're all just talking big ifs, but it's just interesting to talk about. So I'd love to know your thoughts on that. And could we see a lot of veterans coming up? I see a lot of veterans in the comments. And we do see a lot of veterans online now, they're coming out and speaking, trying to basically raise the concerns for the people. And that's just in a veteran mindset. They signed the oath, to the king or queen, depending on when you joined up, to protect this nation, domestic and foreignly. And that's just instilled in you. And it's just what you always want to continue to do. That's why you see a lot of veterans speaking up. And they've got a lot of sense of pride in themselves, in their nation. And they want that to continue. So you could see a lot of veterans coming up as well. And God knows what veterans possibly may do in the future, because everyone has had enough. But could we see a military coup happening? Is it really what people want? Because it looks like it is. It looks like the government are hated that much. People now want the military on the streets. Once again, we don't want them steaming in and bulldozing in and blowing and shooting everything up. That's not the way. It's got to be in quick, no rounds fired. Security, once again, we're covering this in the future. Secure all the major infrastructure, secure government, and then basically roll in that way. Because you don't want a loud coup where it's gone hot and you've got bullets flying everywhere, because that is exactly not what we want. It's not what the people want. But I think people just want a more safer and secure Britain. So children can go out and they can play and they can enjoy life. Your daughters, your wife, your partner, your mum can go out at night. They can, get off the train station, walk home and feel safe. That's all people want in life. Simple things make people happy. Trust me, not the majority of people don't want all this expensive stuff. They want the simple things in life give you the biggest pleasures. And feeling safe in your own country, in your own hometown, in your own community, I think would make a lot of people happy. Maybe we should start a veterans political party. Maybe I'll do a video on that. A veterans political party. Veterans for the People party. Comment below if you'd like that in the future. I'd be very interested to hear what you say on that. But thanks for watching. Once again, big shout out to all of you. And if you want to continue to support the channel, then you can, become a channel member and join just below. Go over to combatreadyhq.co.uk. Check out our t-shirts, our tumblers and our coffee blends. Once again, thank you for all your support. We will go over in a future video on what a military coup would look like. We're going to continue to see what's happening in the UK, and we will keep you updated as best as possible. And we will just look out and see what the people want. And like I said, maybe I'll do a video on the new political party, Veterans for the People. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.